So Pierre Poilievre goes down to the U.S. and fuck, they kicked him out, man. They kicked him out. They're like, no, fuck, what? He was talking to people. He was talking to the oil people in Texas, and they want to buy oil and gas. He talked to the automotive people on the other side of the river, and they want to build cars with Canada. They want to trade. Does that mean that the Liberal Party is lying? They made the U.S. to be villains to get a prime minister elected? Huh. That makes sense. You know why? See, Pierre has been getting ridiculed. And it's mostly by the Liberals, and it's mostly by Mark Carney and the senior Liberals, that he can't go down to the U.S. and negotiate. He doesn't know how to negotiate. He'll sell us to Trump. He'll sell us to the U.S. Well, guess what? He just did the big F you. He basically showed that the U.S. wants to continue trade. He basically showed that they're not a villain and they want to sit down and talk. But this Liberal Party, elbows up, no, we can't do that. We have to separate ourselves. We have to be independent. Well, guess what happens when you take Canada and you separate it from the U.S. and you become independent? You isolate yourself. And a country is actually weaker when they isolate themselves. So why not keep the friendship going? Why not do the responsible thing as government and negotiate like Pierre showed that it can be done? And now you have a stronger friendship because, one, you have an ally. And they're right across the bridge. Unlike this elbows up crowd, let's go, we need to go to Europe and Japan and friggin' India. Well, we know that's a joke. Okay? That's not about investments. You got to read between the lines. It's all promises. Nothing's been done. He hasn't got a trade deal. Nothing has been done. So if you want Canada to continue this downhill slide, keep voting Liberal. Keep voting Liberal, because the Liberals have got into power 3 times. 3 times, each time worse than the one previous. How do you justify that? If your mechanic screws up your car and you go back and he screws it up even worse and you bring it back a 3rd time and it's barely runnable, you bring it back a 4th time? I guess Liberals do. They don't learn. They have amnesia or they have hate. You see, no party divides Canadians more than the Liberal Party. Think about it. Gasoline engines versus EV. Firearms versus no firearms. Handing out drug paraphernalia to not doing that. Investing overseas to not investing overseas, like the Ukraine and India and whatever. No party divides Canadians more than this Liberal Party. And with the help of the media, who would be bankrupt without the Liberal handouts. Do you think they're going to push for a conservative government? You don't think they're biased? Hell yeah. The moment conservatives come into power, their funding's gone. They're bankrupt. Bye-bye. If you can't change with the times and you can't meet the demand of the people and stick with, new technologies, going online, going digital, then guess what? I'm sorry, you have to close because progress. But you can't stay here and depend and wait for those free handouts. Pierre is the guy. He can get this done. But if you, as the voters, this is your fault. Because what you do when you vote Liberal and they fail, and you vote them back and they fail, and you vote them back and they fail, you're teaching them. It's like a dog. If you don't correct it, they think that behavior is acceptable. And they continue to do it. There's no need to change. So Liberal voters, the state of Canada is not our government's fault. You're teaching them and you're training them that what they're doing is okay. And what they're doing is acceptable. And it's not. So you as a voter have a choice to make. Do you want continuing downhill spiral? Or do you want change? Because what Pierre did was amazing. And he proved that they want to trade. He proved that they want our natural resources. Remember what did Carney say? Oh, there's no market for it. Well, seems like another election promise broken and another, claim busted. So, I don't know. What do you think? Am I wrong? Tell me in the comments. I'd be really curious to see what you liberals think. Because what has Carney done? What has he done? Other than get promises of foreign investing and promises to fix Canada and help Canadians, but he hasn't done anything. Ever since Trudeau left, everything's gotten worse. But it's the voters' fault. 100% voters. You're training your dog that this is acceptable behavior. Elbows up reminds me of a lot of things, and the biggest is, yeah, elbows up.